What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5 European Conquest AI only battle. We continue. There is something I wanted to do. What was it? Social policies, just remembering before we completely forget. I think we didn't check them last time or recently as we've pushed through the eras a bit, so we're going to do that first. Syria, Liberty 5 and Honor 5, but they've since added Exploration number 1, or 1 policy from Exploration. Egypt have gone Tradition 5 and Aesthetics 5 and have added 1 policy from Liberty. England, Patronage and Aesthetics 5, and they've started Exploration. It's not terrible, it improves coastal cities, so don't worry. I know there's not much land left to explore, but it's actually fine if you're not super familiar with the policies. Most of them are to do with sort of production or gold in coastal cities, and all of England's cities, I think, are coastal, so there you go, that's a nice little bonus, or most of them. France is dead. Germany did Liberty 5 and Honor 5. They haven't picked anything else yet. Greece, Liberty 5, Honor 3, and 1 from Patronage. For the Huns, they've gone for a nice wide mix. Liberty 5 and Honor 5, but they've also taken 1 from Patronage, and of course their 2 autocracy tenets that they got. Morocco's gone 1 from Tradition, 5 from Honor, and 5 from Aesthetics. The Ottomans 4 from Liberty, 5 from Honor, and 1 Rationalism, which by just adopting that will give them 10% more science per turn, so that's pretty useful, particularly if not many others have got it. I can see Rome and Russia do have it, but the others have not had it yet. Poland, a nice, very big mix. Tradition 3, Liberty 5, Honor 5, Aesthetics 2, and now Order 2. Rome, Liberty 5, Honor 4, and they took 2 policies from Rationalism as well. Russia took 5 from Liberty. They're also, I think, the only civ in the modern era, according to this. But they took Liberty 5, Honor 4, and Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. Liberty 5, Aesthetics 2, Rationalism 3, and 3 from Autocracy. So they're obviously still doing well, despite being sort of, I'd say, getting towards dwarfed in size by the Huns. And I mean, they've still not had any success against Poland. Spain, Liberty 1, Piety 5, Patronage 3. They've not picked that many, and Order 1. And then Sweden, Honor 4, Patronage 5. So there we go. We continue on. Let's have a look. Let's see, is there any cities? Just sort of circle around the map. There is, of course, this Egypt-Ottoman war, which is not going too well. Assyria has now filled most of the Arabian desert, including a city here, which makes the most of the King Solomon's mines. Up this way, it's pretty peaceful at the moment. There was that war with Greece for Assyria that is still ongoing. The Huns also trying to get into Greece, but it's quite a narrow sort of choke point. Russia is attacking Poland still, and they've been held off until now, although Gdansk is under siege. They'll need to kill these 2 musket men if they want to hold on to that, but they probably could. Gatling gun, trebuchet, and a city bombardment probably could. Then they'll have to turn their attention to the next ones. Obviously, it's precarious. But I think they could definitely hold off here. Maybe if they brought in some more of Galeas's, I know they're not great, but just an extra ranged attack wouldn't go amiss. Germany's just adding more cities up here. This one's got 2 names, as they had that one. And Rostock here, Chemnitz as well. So they're just spamming Sweden. Poor little Sweden. I think Sweden now has less territory in Scandinavia than Germany. They do have 1 more settler though, so there's hope for Sweden, who have grabbed a city in southwestern Ireland as well. England has been kicked off the mainland. Yeah, Germany still, yeah, were they defending, or I think they attacked Rome this time, but there you go, that ended anyway. Well, good timing as that one comes to an end. But there we go, it is, I think it's all to play for. I really can't tell. I know there are some bigger civs which certainly have an advantage, but you know, 1 war can change everything, you know, in some of these. If you take someone out, certainly very quick to change. And there's all the Huns are filling every last bit of space. Squeeze in, if they can squeeze 2 more cities into here, which they probably can, because this map does allow you to settle a little bit closer. Germany also have a settler, which might fill up a little bit more of the gap between Germany and Rome as well. But there we go, the Huns are right in the middle. I think they can put this one here, but we'll see. Whether they choose to, that would be very annoying for the rest of the world. It would block off, I mean, Poland and Rome would no longer border each other essentially, so that would be kind of interesting. See how that all pans out. As Kaunas here is just starting to come under siege a bit more. There is another 3 Hunnic settlers here, on top of the one that's already here. I don't know where they're planning on sending those, but if they settle in here, that is going to be gross. And I could see it happening. Actually, there's another one here. There's a fifth one. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, the city of Gdansk should fall this turn. That's a blow to Poland. It's the first city they will have lost, I think, to Russia. But, you know, 1 in 205 turns is not really a disaster. Actually, Poland is going first. They could pull off the miracle, but I think this rifleman can still take it, depending on how much damage the Gatling guns will do. But I think, oh, very close. But, you know, it's still, if they can kill that rifleman next turn, which they should be able to, these trebuchets can probably hit it. This one could. The city can. They might actually be fine, because there's no other melee units. Okay, there's Cossacks here, but I don't think it can get through the forest to Gdansk that quickly. So they might just have survived for now and get some time to bring in some reinforcements or negotiate a peace deal. Germany did lose this tile. I said a few episodes ago this was an important one, and their navy got trapped here. I think they could again settle here if they chose to, and sort of get a canal outwards. I don't think the AI will think, oh no, we can't move, let's do that. I think that's more of a human level of thinking. Greece entering the industrial era a little late. It did fall apart for them after their good start. They're still good size, you know, they're bigger than civs like England, who are slowly growing and adding more cities. But still, yeah, somehow England's just... Well, I don't know, England might be not in the industrial era either, to be honest. I don't know. Spain added another city here with Mida, so they're going to take most of Ireland. Iceland is still available with that coal. No settlers just yet heading out that way. Deep sea seems to be explorable for most. Germany, England are out there. Spain is out there. Morocco's out there. So you feel like one of them will find it and go for it eventually. At some point. As Gdansk does hold, Poland does kill that unit, and the Cossack actually disappeared. Did it retreat? It moved very far if it did retreat, which is possible on a road. There was no roads over here though, and it was in the forest. I don't know how it got away. But there we go. Russia now has great war infantry. Okay, well, that is going to help them. That tech advantage. But they need to do stuff. I mean, it's not a foregone conclusion here. The Huns are bigger, which will limit their tech to keeping up, but certainly probably have more production and probably more population eventually, because all these open plains can all be farmed. Not that the AI is, I say not doing it yet, it's hard to tell. I mean, it should say farm, but I have been also told there's like a limit to the number of farm graphics that will actually appear, and then it stops, so it's hard to tell. Poland and Russia did reach a peace deal, and everything stays as it was. Another victory for Poland. Russia is again prevented from expanding. Oh my goodness, Poland. That is unfortunate, but it's one I think we've all kind of been waiting for in this game. And Assyria also went autocracy while that was happening. But Germany versus Poland, for so long we were sure these borders could not last. This is going to be interesting. We'll see it head to head. Germany, this is kind of weird because Germany has to fight on both sides, but then again, yeah, this is going to be kind of weird. I think for Germany a victory would be taking these 3 cities and then just peace out and come back again later. But it does look like they have a significant force here to keep these forces in the east. And Reclaw and Łódź, 20 population cities. I mean, don't think they'll be turning those down if they can get their hands on them. And Germany also grabs another city here in the middle of the Baltic Sea, and another settler, 3 more settlers in Scandinavia. And Sweden has sent theirs outwards. They didn't even try to fend off Germany. They've just moved on. Fair enough. How is Spain doing? I haven't really looked at them for a while. Just doing their thing, I guess. Ooh, this could be big. Rome versus Greece. Rome now does have a pretty sufficient technology advantage, so they could make some progress. And if Rome conquered Greece, that would certainly put them towards, you know, the victory contention, I think. If they were to, if they could take lots of cities here. We've seen Assyria struggle to do that, especially with so many of these other civs now grinding to a halt. We've seen Russia not progress. The Huns have eked out every possible settling location on the map. Assyria's been, I don't want to say trapped, they've been pretty passive. They fought the Ottomans early on, but they only took 1 city, and you know, the Ottomans are now no laughing matter themselves. Egypt might be a bit different, but I mean, I don't think conquering just these 3 cities would turn, you know, Assyria from, I don't know, a contender to like the outright leader. And there's a number of contenders right now around the map. Spain, another one. They have another settler there. So we'll see. But yeah, Rome versus Greece, that could be a big one. And so far, Germany, yeah, putting a few cities under pressure. Tra here, Ambra. They also have a probably, yeah, it looks like they might have a bit of a naval advantage with these ships and all the ones they had sort of hidden away. So we'll see how this goes. But yeah, two big wars for the future of Europe, particularly outside of Eastern Europe as well. Sardinia and Corsica just not being settled. There is no luxuries, to be fair. So maybe that's just hindering the AI a little bit from settling over there. But maybe soon they will go for it. Here we go. Germany, another big turn for them. Poland will, of course, bring back a lot of the units that were out here, but it wasn't like they were huge numbers, I should say, although it is a very long front, which, you know, it's twice as long this border as this one, so once they all sort of group up it might look a lot bigger. We'll see. Of course, the big concern could be that Germany, you know, slow grind, keeps pushing through, but eventually obviously the peace treaty runs out and Russia just walks in out in the east again, which obviously is fairly likely to happen now. They also have artillery. That means that they are currently in a position of an advantage. Whether they use it or not is up to them, but having Cossacks and artillery right now, you'd think this, and Great War Infantry, that's a big advantage for Russia, but they probably won't use it. They could only really use it against the Huns in the immediate future, and that border is pretty open on both sides. Attila far more focused on throwing away units against Greece. But yeah, I think this game is wide open. I mean, if Germany was to like dominate this war, which they're not, evidently, but if they were to start, you never know though, things snowball pretty quickly once a few cities fall. But you know, if Germany comes out with like 5, 6 maybe cities off of Poland, then yeah, that puts them right back in. Oh, never mind, they peaced out already. Well, there we go. It happens. We will go focus on the Balkans then, where Rome is pushing into the city of Corinth. They have it surrounded by land and sea. I'll have to keep an eye out for air now. I guess Russia will soon have... What the heck is that? That is... What in the... That's one way to settle your differences within the space of one turn. Poland and Germany decide, you know what, let's not fight each other. Let's fight England instead. I'm not sure how that's going to work. Germany does appear to have some boats here, but I'm not sure that was in preparation for this. I think they're just exploring and stuff. But there you go. Well, I don't know how that will go. Could be interesting, as Egypt is the first civ to adopt the freedom ideology. There we go. How are our little ideology teams looking at the moment? Not that they work in that way. Order is just Spain and Poland. Autocracy is Assyria, Russia and the Huns, and Egypt is freedom. Everyone is content at the moment, no negative public opinions, although the Huns are on negative overall happiness. Poland has now entered the modern era. It was very good for them to get that peace deal soon. And here we go, Rome does take the city of Corinth. The big question is how quickly will Greece, you know, we see civs capitulate when they lose a few cities. Will Rome be able to do that to Greece? Because if they can, they will be in a very strong position with all of the Balkans, essentially, and all of Italy. That would be great for them. The city of Rhodes is under pressure in the north. Of course, Attila may also start to see a bit more success as well, as Greek forces are pulled away from that border. Assyria may even sneak in and grab some stuff. They have a few units lurking around. But here we go. It is kind of a race. I mean, Rome could also steal this away if they tried hard enough. But it looks like they're going to focus on the city of Rhodes. Maybe let the Huns have this one, because they will be probably your main enemy at that point, even more so than Spain and Germany. Sweden denounces Germany. Bit late, as Germany adds another city here. That second Swedish settler is currently in Scotland. Again, not going for Iceland, where there is resources available. Marble, coal, everything's out there. And there it is, the Huns do take the city of Miletos. So they're slowly working their way around the Black Sea coast, as Rome enters the modern era as well. Okay, Russia does seem to have a significant tech advantage then. I feel like because Rome's doing pretty well, and they were one of the civs that took rationalism, so, or at least started it. So that's pretty interesting that Russia has such a big advantage. They do have, I guess, less cities overall for a similar amount of land, so that definitely helps. England completes the Louvre, and ideology. Germany will join Assyria, Russia and the Huns, not the Runs, on the autocracy ideology. One thing I may have been wrong with is getting down to one civ. I don't want to burst any bubbles. The goal is to try and get as far as we can. Like I said, it definitely won't be all on video, because that's just not going to happen, is it? Because we've only lost one civ in its entirety since we started, so it's not really worked out, has it? They're all just bigger and more, finding it easier to survive, I think, because they're bigger. So we've created the reverse option. But oh well, Rome also joining the autocracy ideology is, yeah, I mean, it's probably best suited to a domination and cultural victory. And it looks like Greece, saying no one's died for a while, and only France, well, Greece could be joining them. Because I think Rome's going to grab Sparta here, and Athens probably going to go to Assyria now as well. And we'll see if the Huns could take Pharsalos as well up here. And then there'll just be 2 cities left, a bit of a race and scramble to get what remains. Yeah, it looks like the fall of the Greek Empire might be upon us. There you go, Sparta does fall into Rome's hands. So that's the western part of Greece, all now controlled by Rome. Spain now enters into the modern era in 1555. I'm always scared I'm going to look back and Russia's going to have like some ridiculous unit. Well, it's not just Russia, it's any civ. Sweden and the Huns are going to send some of those settlers towards what remains of the Finland territory, which might create some tension with Russia and Poland. And that does not... Okay, so the Huns peace out with Greece, they get Pharsalos in the peace deal, and now they team up with Assyria against the Ottomans. That is going to be a big war in the Anatolia region. The Ottomans are a bit of a mess. They've actually continued to add to their North African territory. I think they now have more territory in North Africa than Egypt, which is impressive. But yeah, this is going to get very messy because Assyria is still fighting Greece. The Ottomans are still fighting Egypt, and they've got units all over the place in the Mediterranean. They've got interlinking islands. This is going to be a mess for the Ottomans. But again, this is another one where if they were to just somehow completely capitulate to Assyria, that could be a game changer. So we'll keep an eye on it. Well, we're in the region anyway, watching the Greek action, so we won't be going too far. Just pan across. I mean, certainly numbers advantage. You'd say Assyria and the Huns are both individually stronger than the Ottomans, so together that's certainly going to play to their advantage. But geographically, I don't know. The Huns have a plain. That came out of nowhere. Okay, how did you beat Russia? Well, at least there's hope then. They beat Russia to a plain, despite that lack of artillery. But yeah, this is a huge border. I mean, it stretches all the way around here, and if you include the Assyrian border, that stretches all the way around here and it gets a bit messy down here. Yeah, we'll see. Rome now adds great war infantry to their army, and the battle for Athens continues. It's very low. Rome has not got a melee unit in the vicinity just yet. But there we go. This is a huge time for the Anatolia and Greek regions. And there we go. Athens does fall under Assyrian control again, although the Ottomans are actually pretty close. They may end up taking that back because it's on not back, but taking it because it's on such low health. But they do not, and there's a big turn there for the Ottomans themselves attacking this island. If they could conquer a few of Assyria's islands early on, that would certainly help their efforts. Antalya here and Kayseri, kind of these are the exposed cities. You know, they're not protected by mountains, so that is going to be a challenge, I think, to defend some of those. There we go. The Huns did put down the city of Oakland in Finland. I think again they've stolen that name from us as America there, up there. Germany still has 2 more settlers as well. We'll see where they end up as we do the final turn of the episode. Will we get a big cliffhanger? You know, a big war breakout. But either way, Spain looks like they just beat Germany to settle in Cornwall. So that's again a little bit more more control of the western part of the British Isles for Spain. There are some huge civs. I'm just looking at the mini-map. There is just some big colour blocks. So you can see the big bright red of Poland in the middle, the German and Hunnic grey, Rome, big purple blob, Spain in the west, and Morocco and England, all these kind of little sort of red and maroon blobs. Assyria and the Ottomans are kind of merged into one big creamy blob as well. And then there's the Russian yellow. There's a little blue smidge of Sweden at the top. But there we go. That will be it for this episode. As it stands, it is looking okay. The Ottomans under a little bit of pressure everywhere, but nowhere's being, sieged to the ground. So there we go. But that's set up nicely for the next one. So as always, if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.